Hello guys and welcome to volokinproject. Up until last year, if you wanted to have a big screen like a 7-inch device, you had to buy a tablet. But now the game has changed forever. In late 2018, you can just get the regular Xiaomi Mi Max 3, 6.9-inch monster from China, which costs only about £200. So is it really that good? Is it worth your money? What are the alternatives? And how good is the battery life? Let's find out in my full review now. Okay guys, so let's start with design and build quality. Now the phone is huge, let me tell you that. And I'm struggling to use this phone in one hand only. So if you're not like super tall basketball player or something like that, you're gonna have to use both hands, I'm afraid. And the fingerprint reader at the back is a little bit out of reach. So I have to kind of stretch a little bit to unlock that, to unlock the device like that. But on the positive side, the fingerprint is very reliable. It works 100% of the time and is quite quick as well. If you don't want to use the fingerprint reader, you've got face unlock as well. It's quite accurate, I would say. It's not one of the fastest ones, but it's quite good, and surprisingly it works in full darkness as well, guys. So if you want to see a little bit more hands-on time with the phone itself and how does it compare size-wise with other phones, I recommend you to check my full unboxing of the phone right over here. So you're probably wondering how good is the battery life of this phone. 5500 milliamp hours of battery. That's absolutely ridiculous, guys, to have it on a phone which is actually that thin. Let me tell you that the new iPhone is not, much smaller than that, and the battery is like 3000 milliamp hours, 3100, something like that. So that's actually impressive how they managed to cram such a big battery. So for you, I've got my full screenshots with usage statistics of the battery life. And unlike many other YouTubers, they're just gonna say, oh, the battery is good for 2 days or something like that. Guys, that's not real. So have a look at my screenshots now. Okay guys, so these are my real screenshots of the battery life. Check this out, 11 hours 16 minutes with 3% left. These are my usage statistics, so here you can have a look. 10 hours 28 minutes with 3% left. Again, my statistics over here. 10 hours and 8 minutes with 6% left, that's another half an hour. Over here I've got 9 hours 47 minutes with 2% left. 10 hours 20 minutes with 8% left, another, let's say, half an hour 40 minutes, so 11 hours, put it this way. And over here I've got 11 hours 13 minutes, guys. So basically, no matter what you do with the phone, you're getting between 10 and 11 hours, and if you're crazy heavy on usage, maybe 9 hours, which is basically one of the best available at the market right now. So moving on to the audio quality now. At the top you've got a 3.5mm jack, thank God, and it's pretty good, guys. It's one of the loudest ones I have ever heard in my life. Compared it to the Pocophone, which is again one of the loudest ones, it's probably about 95% of the Pocophone, which is basically better than, let's say, 95% of the phones out there. Especially in the mid-range territory, that's absolutely, mind-blowing. You're gonna be very satisfied of the headphone output. And now when it comes down to speakers, you've got a stereo setup, well, sort of. One speaker at the bottom, and they have activated the earpiece as well. And because of that, you've got like 10% coming from here and 90% coming from here. Take a listen. So to sum it up, compared to the Pocophone, for example, it's not exactly as loud, but let's say about 90-95% as well, which is plenty and which is more than enough for the average user. So audio quality, thumbs up. So what about that huge 6.9-inch screen that you're going to be staring at all day? Let me tell you that the experience is quite immersive because everything is big and nice and sharp enough. Because check this out, 7 inches, yes, 1080p, yes, but that's an LCD IPS screen, guys. It's gonna be sharper than any Pentile AMOLED screen, especially compared to the Note 10, for example. So you're gonna be happy with the resolution of that screen, actually. And the overall saturation of the screen, the brightness, and the sunlight visibility is actually quite good. You can change the contrast levels as well, and you can actually change the warmth of the screen depending on if you prefer it cooler or warmer, which is great. But there is one drawback though: the IPS glow on the black levels. Now the black, it just glows, it's kind of gray especially in pitch black around you, where you're staring just at the phone. You definitely can see how much it glows. Let me show you a quick comparison against the Pocophone, which is not brilliant in that aspect as well. Yeah, so you can see what is the difference in those two panels. This one glows in the dark, but this one is even worse, guys, which is quite noticeable when you play a game in a dark room. But anyway, it is what it is. Now let's talk about firmware quickly. I do not have the official global ROM because I couldn't find any information of a proper official certified global ROM for this device. However, the version that I flashed is the following: MIUI 10 by Xiaomi EU. I don't know how legit is that ROM, but to be honest with you, it works flawlessly with my device. I didn't have any bugs, any battery drains or anything like that. It's based on the Chinese ROM, but it has Google services and applications installed. It's a better version. They promise weekly updates, but to be honest with you, I'm fine with that. Let me see if there are any updates detected, because that's the first version that I actually installed, and I haven't really bothered if installing another one. Yes, okay, so you've got another update over here, so you're gonna have absolutely no problems. Xiaomi EU is the website if you want to get the Google services. And to be honest with you, overall performance, I see absolutely no problems. Check this out. The applications are quite quick to open, no problems. It's just when you check this out, when you open up an application like that, did you see that? Let's say play games. You're gonna open up play games. When you swipe like that, there's a little bit of a stuttering going on like that, guys. And after that, when you kind of open up the multitasking, it's a little bit stuttery like that. So yeah, it's not the best in the world, but otherwise you can activate the navigation buttons and the lock disappears and you're a happy camper. As well, this ROM has some Android Pie features, for example, like the audio control over here, the small little bubble. And what else? You've got team support. Basically, pretty much all other Xiaomi ROMs are more or less the same, so nothing, extraordinary over here, but it works fine. Another thing that quite a lot of people are interested in is dual 4G on both SIM cards, and yes, this one has it, at least in that firmware version. Now, when it comes down to gaming performance, I can't really say I'm 100% satisfied, because I had the Moto X4 with Snapdragon 630 and that was buttery smooth on a flagship level. And this one is not particularly buttery smooth, guys, in terms of gaming. It's definitely good enough, don't get me wrong, it's good enough, but you can see some stutters here and there, some minor lag, but games are definitely playable, and especially PUBG, it runs okay, you're not gonna have problems with that. So in games like Angry Birds, for example, you can see a little bit of lag. Let me show you what I'm talking about. When you launch this guy over here, you can see the stutters a little bit, and it's just, it's not buttery smooth, but it's definitely acceptable, I would say. So overall performance and, gaming performance, I would say it's on a little bit above average level, definitely good enough. Okay, so what about the cameras of that phone? And that's where things start to go downhill a little bit, and you can definitely tell that they've cut down some corners over here, guys. Especially on the front camera, 8 megapixel. I took a few selfies, but I never really managed to get my face into focus, which is basically the main purpose of the front-facing camera. And when we talk about video, the maximum video resolution is just 1080p, there is no 4K, and I'm not very happy with the results, to be honest with you. There is electronic image stabilization, but it doesn't really work that well, and the overall quality is not satisfactory, at least to my taste. So let's see how the digital stabilization works, guys, in 1080p. Okay, so the front-facing camera, I would say that it kind of sucks. I'm being 100% honest with you. But now, on the other hand, the back cameras, I'm actually a little bit, how can I put it, a little bit surprised of some things and absolutely expected some other things. For example, in good daylight conditions, this camera is actually quite good. Of course, the dynamic range is not on a flagship level, but overall the image quality is excellent. I would say that it can go neck and neck with some flagships, and actually, according to my testing, it's a little bit better than the Pocophone, or at least on the more or less same level, which is good in good lighting conditions. However, if you go to low light, well, with all these budget phones, the low light performance is not good, but at least I'm kind of happy that they didn't put any kind of artificial smoothing of the details. You get the noise, you know it's there, but the image is kind of usable, I would say. So overall, I would say that for photos, the camera is really good in daytime, and expectedly bad in low light, to be honest with you, but that's no surprise to anybody. Now, what is the situation with the videos? You've got 4K, and the 4K, the detail is very sharp and is very nice. However, the stabilization doesn't really work in 4K, so you're gonna need a tripod for that. Okay guys, so that's 4K 30 FPS with the image stabilization on. I'm just gonna do a quick sprint over here to see how good the stabilization is. Yeah, all right. And I think it's time to give the autofocus a quick test over here. Let's see how it does, guys. That's my honorable Honor 10 with does underneath the camera lens. Yeah, the autofocus is quite good. And now when it comes down to 1080p, you've got a 60 FPS option, and the quality is absolutely terrible. To be honest with you, the autofocus is all over the place. So basically 60 FPS, it's a no-go. Okay guys, so I'm shooting in 1080p 60 FPS, and it's quite interesting that actually the image stabilization tick is still on. So if we actually have an image stabilization at 60 FPS, I'm gonna be quite happy. So let's do a quick sprint now to see if we have this stabilization. And now I'm just gonna take the Note 10 once again out of my pocket and test the autofocus, because usually at 60 FPS there are quite a few autofocus issues, and unfortunately that's the case once again. It doesn't want to focus properly. Now when we talk about 1080p, you've got of course the normal 30 FPS option, and the stabilization is really trying to do something, but it's not very successful, and the quality drops quite a lot. Okay, so 1080p 30 FPS with digital stabilization on. Quick sprint once again. I'm not gonna waste much more of your time, guys. Let's see the autofocus here. Autofocus, hello. So unfortunately your only option is gonna be tripod and 4K if you want to do some videos, where actually the autofocus is quite good in 4K, guys. So although I'm really not happy with the 60 FPS and with the 1080p, I'm really happy with the 4K, but again, you're gonna use a tripod. You've got the artificial intelligence camera mode, which, to be honest with you, I didn't see any difference, so you're gonna be better off operating that yourself, choosing HDR on and off. So you can leave it on, but it's like, it doesn't do nothing, to be honest with you. But anyway, the camera application is simple enough. It doesn't have many functions, for example, like the Huawei phones, but it's good enough. We're talking about 200 pounds over here, and again, daylight photos, very happy with them. So overall, I give this camera a thumbs up for 200 pounds. Okay guys, so what's my final verdict of the Xiaomi Mi Max 3? Let me sum it up for you very quickly. 200 pounds, crazy battery life, huge and nice screen, okay performance, okay camera, stereo speakers, amazing headphone output. You're starting to feel me, I guess. So 200 pounds, that's an instant buy. I've got the 64 gig version with 4 gigabytes of RAM. If you're heavy on multitasking, just get the 6 gig version, which is gonna run you down something like 240, something like that. Still, at 240, this is a fully recommended phone, certified by volokinproject. Which means I've got a very nice and warm feelings about this phone, guys. I kind of love this phone, to be honest with you. I didn't find any drawback, nothing really pisses me off. The fingerprint reader is quite good, face unlock, you basically have the full package. And 200 pounds, the price is quite good. Now, unlike the Honor Note 10, to be honest with you, I've got this underneath the camera glass, and there are a few minor things that are pissing me off with this phone. So stay tuned for my full comparison. And also, I bought the Honor 8X Max today. Another crazy big phone, even 7.2 inches screen, something like that, which costs again £200. So stay tuned for that one as well. The phone is coming down in the next few days, so I'm gonna do the comparison and the full review as quick as possible. And again, thank you very much for watching, guys. Congratulations in making it this far into the video. Only my hardcore fans actually last that long into my videos. I'm very grateful for that, guys. And if you're just, a new person watching my content, please consider leaving a like and subscribe to Vlogging Project for many more honest reviews like this one. Thank you very much for watching again, guys, and see you later.